longest time now, you guys have been telling me to lower this ute that we picked up a couple of months ago for $10,000. And I'll completely admit, it's been brilliant having a stock height car. I can get over speed bumps, I can do regular car things, but I'll be completely honest, there's no fun in doing that because, you know, it doesn't look cool. So today we're gonna be lowering the ute, ready for towing my track car to and from events, like I told you guys I would. Haven't yet done. Well, there's a bit I got to update you all on. Let's go through everything. So first of all, we've obviously done the trans in this thing, and yes, it's been absolutely awesome. I'm still having a little bit of shuddering issues, and I also now have a current issue where my Aeroflow radiator had a dead on arrival switch. Now I also found out that the torque converter is actually slipping until it gets to operating temperature, which is about between 60 to 70 degrees on these ZF transmissions. And that's what's been the cause of my shudders. Ever since I put the trans cooler in, it's been the cause of the issue. So now that I have a new gauge, which is coming in the next couple of videos, I'm just still working out all the little kinks and everything with can checked at the moment. But I've basically been able to log the fact that the torque converter is shuddering below 60 degrees. But then not only that, when I was getting home, it was like reaching 100 degrees when my fan switch is set at 79. So not only is the trans, you know, not getting to temp quick enough, it's also, once it's getting to temp, keeps going, and it's not ideal. So the trans cooler needs a thermostat, and it also needs a new fan switch to fix that issue. But none of those things are cool things to film for YouTube. So I'm gonna lower the car today because it's a cool thing to do for YouTube. So today we're going to be lowering the Falcon ute, not disgusting amounts, but just to a nice, suitable ride height where it looks good and I can still get over and through all the potholes that Melbourne roads throws at everyone. And yeah, let's walk you guys through what I've ordered. Alright, so the biggest thing we're going to be installing on the Falcon ute today is probably going to be these right here. This and this is a set of Koni Adjustable Shocks, and these are a factory fit replacement shock, which is absolutely awesome. Now, not only that, but these are Koni's adjustable shocks. These allow you to set the actual stiffness of the shock, which is absolutely awesome. We're going to be swapping out the entire setup today and going full Koni adjustables. I also remember a couple of years back, we actually installed some Koni adjustables on Max's ute to stop axle tramp. So, you know, with this thing going a little bit more power, I might run into the issues with axle tramp in the future. And that's where the Koni adjustables come in, because apparently these dampen that a fair bit. Of course, I have some spring compressors. This is the first time I'm ever using spring compressors. I'm nervous, but excited. I'm sure it can't be that difficult. Typical Falcon guy, I got some King springs. These are some SSL fronts. These I've actually run in one of my cars before. My original NA Falcon had a set of King springs in it, and they rode absolutely amazingly. It's like the staple to go double SL, triple SL rear in sedans, and it's like, just looks really, really nice. So this is going to give me a nice healthy, probably 1 to 2 centimeter drop in the front, which isn't crazy, but with everything else I have coming, then this is just going to be absolutely perfect. Not too low, not too high, just a nice comfortable ride height, and it's going to keep this thing legal, which is very, very cool. What's going to make this car illegal is going to be these things. These are a set of lowering blocks. Now, was this my first preference? No, I did want to actually get a set of lowered leaves. However, they are kind of expensive at the moment, and I don't know exactly what one I wanted to get off the shelf, because I was looking at so many different things, and especially on Club FG, there would be like a guy saying, I run double SL leaves, and then the guy saying beneath it, I run double SL leaves, and their cars are two completely different heights. So I was like really debating what to do. I am going to get these leaves reset in the car, but I want to figure out just how low I want to go. These are a very inexpensive way to lower a ute. Yes, they're illegal. However, for me, just trying to work out exactly what height I want to go, these from Whiteline are going to be perfect. I have never run these before, but I have a set of Just Jap spacers. Now these are a set of 20 mils, these are a set of 30 mils. Now I have been messaging back and forth with a guy, G6E Ute on Instagram, really, really nice guy. And he's given me a few photos and helped me out in regards to what sizing I should go for the spacers to fill out the guards with the stock rims. Now, I'm going to be taking these off to tow, of course, but for regular cruising and driving around town, I just want to make these things look a little bit nicer. You guys already know that the back of the utes are so incredibly sunk from factory. Let's jack the car up, let's get the fronts out, and let's do them first. I'll be completely honest, I have absolutely loved running these Argents. I think they are one of the nicest looking stock rims you can get for a Falcon. So to be able to reuse those ones there with having a nice, clean, like decent fitment setup, so sick. All right, I honestly think I might do brakes today too. It looks like it should be pretty easy to do all at the same time, and I have a full set of Protex literally sitting down there ready to go. These look utterly trash, and I know that they're warped as well, so I'll be doing them too. Make everything nice and clean while we're at it. I know the rear is apparently a little bit of a pain in the ass, but we'll see how we go. Alright, the next step is to adjust our Koni adjustable suspension. Now, adjustable in this case is a bit of a broad term. They can be adjusted, yes, and they are definitely adjustable. However, you do have to have the shock outside of the car to be able to adjust them. There are some Koni shocks out there that do allow you to adjust it on the fly. However, these shocks here are internally adjustable. So what that means is you have to actually have the suspension fully compressed to the point where it bottoms out, and then you actually lock into a certain little mechanism that allows you to adjust it. Now with these Konis, what they recommend is to go with their fully softest setting and then work your way up from there. Now, because this is going to be a daily driver, I'm not going to be doing any spirited driving, and it is going to be somewhat used as a tow car with helper bags in the rear. We are going to be just setting these at the softest setting. That's what Koni recommends for my car anyway. From there, if I do find that in the future I do want to get a little bit more stiffness out of the front end especially, I can go through and I can take these shocks out, readjust them, put them back in, and go from there. So yes, it is a little bit weird, but with minimal tools, this is what you can do. So I'm going to press this all the way down until the shaft is pretty much all the way in there. Grab some vice grips and just grab it just around the top here. Doing this with vice grips won't hurt anything because this physically doesn't connect to anything. All right, so once that's now on there, you can try and find a groove. So there's a little groove right there. So that right there would be my hard setting. Now what I can do is I can twist this. You can feel when it bottoms out. So there, won't let me twist any further. Take it off. And that is now at its most comfortable setting. And so now we can start rebuilding those right there. So they come with these beautiful billet collars right here. What I'm gonna do is gonna put these on. These will be a little bit difficult to install. Might need a hammer. Beautiful, there's that there. Trust me, I was like super weirded out by the fact you had to pull the strut out on these ones here, but they're not traditional suspension. This is actually just how they are. This thing right here. That thing right there. This little washer goes down like that right there, so it locks in there. Spring goes on top. Then you have your rubber insulator, which goes like that on the spring. Grab this, this goes on top. Beautiful. Now fingers crossed I don't need, it's gonna be pushing it. And there you have it, sponsored by McDonald's. Your fresh King and Koni setup for the front. Looks so good. Has been made. I was doing the brakes and I was really struggling to try and get one of the rotors off for some reason. I don't know why. It's just really difficult to try and get off. Anyway, I came back and I was like, okay, I'll check out the brakes, the rotors, see exactly what we have. And sure enough, they are slotted from Protex. You guys will know that I run Protex on every single one of my cars. I use it for my track Integra and they are absolutely incredible. The Evo's got some, the BRZ's got some. I track both of those cars all the time. So to have a set of Protex on the Ute is gonna be awesome. And the fact that they are slotted looks so freaking dope. So we're gonna get that on the car right now. Try and work out which way the slotting goes because I know that sometimes they scoop, sometimes they come out. So we'll chuck it on the right way. We'll try. Rightio, goes. So, new shocks, new springs, new pads, rotors, and we've also done the spacers as well. Should look... Ooh, it's so much lower. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. It will probably settle just a little bit. As you can see, she's sort of nice and tucked up. She's not gonna rub. Ah, oh, that is so freaking good. Alright, well, it's getting a bit late in the day. I am absolutely wrecked. So we are now moving on to the rear, which I'm hoping is going to be nice and straightforward. Literally, it's just undoing the 4 U-bolts and then lowering the diff, put the block in, and then jack it back up and bolt everything up. I'm hoping that's as easy as it is, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. There might be some complications on the way. I've WD-40'd every single bolt, so fingers crossed everything's nice and loose. Fingers crossed everything comes away nice and loose. This car does have 320,000 Ks, may I remind you. So it does make it a little bit difficult to work on. The front was a little bit interesting. Hopefully the rear is nice and simple. So we'll give it a shot, see how we go. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get stuck straight into it. Just try and smash it out as quick as I can. So of course the last nut on the last U-bolt. Decided to just shear off because I don't have deep sockets. Make sure you have deep sockets when you're doing this. So I've whipped the grinder out. We're just doing some cheeky little mods. Just decided to grind off the U-bolt because the lowering blocks I have brand new U-bolts. So fingers crossed I don't need this one. To my knowledge, all you have to do to lower a U is just put that there. And then that lowers it. I don't know why I haven't owned a U before. That's so easy. So these are the rear Koni Adjustable Shocks. Now these are very, very similar. Push them all the way in until you feel them grab. And then you can loosen them off until they bottom out. So if you were to do this all the way until they bottom out, right there, that'd be full stiff. And that right there is full soft. So we'll put them in full soft and then we'll adjust them on the go. Now these come with all new hardware as well. You'll reuse I believe you'll reuse the original top. However, the bottom comes with all new hardware. So chucking that in, looks really good. Ooh, so nice. Alright, so I've just gone through and I've double checked the rotors. Everything I have here doesn't seem to fit. I have this one here, which I'm guessing is the rears for the Falcon. However, they are much bigger. I'm guessing these ones here are the PBR upgrades that I did last time. I think John from Protex might have got me a little bit switched up, but either way, I'm gonna still just clean up the rears right here. Just paint all this black, make it all pretty. But yeah, unfortunately, we won't have any slotted rotors for the back, but is what it is. Oh my lord. Oh, it's so much lower. Well, this will be a good test for the microphone, but she's done. Look how incredible that looks. We've officially driven the car for probably about, I don't know, 5 kilometers or so, and this thing is riding absolutely insane. The suspension in this thing feels absolutely incredible. The Konis, even on their softest setting, are much, much more firm. And then add on top of that the fact we have the King springs, the SSLs on the front, and I honestly thought there's a lot of people that told me to not go with the blocks in the back because apparently they have a few issues where they're like really, really bouncy and really firm at the back. The Konis on the back at the moment are at their softest setting, and I don't feel anything different over pretty much what factory was, to be fair. They feel absolutely awesome. The car looks incredible, as you can tell from that bigger roll footage, and the spacers just make it. It's absolutely awesome. First of all, I want to thank Koni Suspension for making this video possible. I have been waiting for these shocks for probably a good month and a bit, almost 2 months now, and they are just incredible. Very, very happy I waited. There's no knocks, no creaks, no nothing, and the shocks feel absolutely incredible. Thank you to Whiteline. I know that they are a massive sponsor of the channel, but I actually bought these lowering blocks before they sponsored me, so thank you, Whiteline. I very much appreciate that. And cheers, JustJap, just for existing. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go drive this car out because it looks incredible. Might even go on date night tonight. We'll see how we go.